going to work on a VW beetle bug. I have a drawing here. I'm going to give you the basis for doing something you want to do on your own. So you don't necessarily have to do what I'm doing. This would be the basics to teach you how to do it. Okay, so first you need a drawing of the item, in this case a VW beetle, that you will be working with. Once you get your pattern, the detail is up to you. You can go immensely detailed. I have some patterns that have over 100 pieces in them. Or you can just go simple. This one's going to go pretty simple. This is 37 pieces in this bug. Now, it's not going to just be the bug. We're going to add some flowers and stuff, but that'll be step 2. We may do it this week. It may be next month's project to put it all together. We'll see how fast this actually goes, okay? After you get your drawing, make some copies, 3 or 4 copies. Even if you don't use them all, I'd rather have extra copies that are clean than not. The next step is going to be to number your pieces. I'm not necessarily looking for what goes behind one piece or another. That's just something as a thread artist you'll learn. But I use this so that I can choose fabric and cut it out and know where it goes. For example, piece 1 is this going to be this section here, okay? And what I want to do is, this won't be the very first piece I work with. I'll actually work with the tires, the headlights, and such as that first. But this just gives me a number to put on a piece of fabric so that I'll know what color to use. Now here's the kicker. Once you get it all done this way, you need to flip your item over and redraw it in the reverse. Please don't forget to do that. You can put it up on a window. You can put it on a light box if you have it. Just something that's going to illuminate it enough. Sometimes just sliding a piece of paper underneath it is enough for you to be able to see. I mean, I could see this enough if I just kind of put it on a piece of white. Nope, not gray. It'll have to be white. But anyway, most everybody's got a window they can use. Something like that. So for years, all I did was tape it to windows or doors that had window panes in them, because I didn't have a light box till very recently. Now, if you want it to be larger than an 8.5 by 11, which I have many that are, you can do one of 2 things. You can get one of those machines that casts it up on the wall and just pull it out to it's the size you want it, and then trace it on a big piece of paper. Or you can take it somewhere like Staples. I've taken it to Office Max / Home Office Depot. I don't know what their real name is anymore. I think it's, I went to Office Depot. But I'll be honest, when I go there, they want to give me architectural grade and want to charge me $30 or $40 to blow up a picture. I've taken it to Staples many, many years. It only costs a couple dollars to have them blow it up to the size I want it. So if you happen to still have a Staples in your town, I would try them first if you didn't have a way to blow it up yourself. So we're going to work with it this size because I want to put this on the back of a blue jean jacket. This is basically going to be an applique. It is not, it's going to be freestanding. You can put it on whatever you want. If you want to put this on a quilt, you can put it on a quilt. If you want to put it on a jacket, a bag, a backpack, I don't know, whatever you can think of that you want to put on, maybe a pair of jeans, I don't know, maybe on your leg, a shirt, whatever you want to put it on, you can put it on that. So I drew it in the reverse. All I did was just, like I said, light it up and draw it. Then I renumbered it where I could understand the numbers from this side. Once I did that, I made myself a piece of paper. I know that I have 37 pieces to this particular pattern because I numbered them over here. I wrote out all 37 numbers in an ink pen. You could use a pencil. I try to use different colors, okay? Once I do that, then I write the number as I draw it off the pattern. For example, let's see, piece number 1 is right here. So I will draw piece number 1, but I draw it, and then I write number 1 on my piece of paper. Once I draw piece number 2, I write number 2, and so on until I get 37 numbers written down. Now I know I have all of my pieces available to use, okay, and I'm happy with that. Now these are my pattern pieces. This took 2 sheets to do them, and I'm going to have this drawn for each piece. I do not normally worry about overlaps, underlaps, or anything like that. I draw what I see. If I feel like I need to put a little extra on it, such as piece 30 here, which is this tire here, I did draw a little piece that'll go under this front fender. But you don't have to do that, because when we put our pieces together, if there's a little gap, we're going to be covering all our edges with thread. It'll fill in and we won't worry about it. I'll show you when we get to the sewing machine. All right, now I have all my pieces. After I have all my pieces, I'm going to grab a fusible web. This is Heat and Bond Light, and I use this or any other fusible web. Don't go out and buy Heat and Bond Light if you have a different fusible web. It won't matter. Just use what you have. I have rolls of different brands, and I use them all. It just happens to be the one I was able to reach without having to get a ladder today. So this is the one I grabbed. If you'll notice, it's shiny and bumpy on this side, and this side is paper. You want the paper side up. You're going to lay that over what you drew as pattern pieces, and you are simply going to trace your pattern pieces and number your pattern pieces as you trace them. Once I draw my pattern pieces, I put a check mark down. This time I chose to do it in green. That means I've drawn all my pieces, which I have. Let me just give you an example of how we're going to draw one though. And it really doesn't matter what you use, pencil, permanent, whatever works on the fusible web paper that you have. Let me just give you a little idea here, so I can see right through this. So we'll just do this little small piece here because I've already got it drawn and I don't want to have to waste a whole sheet. So I'm just going to trace it. See, now I messed up on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little X on that piece, knowing that I don't want to go up there. I want to go down here. And I numbered the piece. And I'm just going to do that for all 37 pieces. Once that's done, then I am going to loosely cut out all my pattern pieces. I have all mine cut out. So here we go. And what I've done is I've made stacks. Let's put it like this. Okay, so I left an edge around. I do not want to cut right on the edge when I cut it out this time, because we want this to adhere to our fabric. And when we cut it out on the fabric, we'll cut to the outside of the line, not the inside of the line. Okay, that'll give us just a little bit of overlap if we need it. So what I've done is I've cut out all my pieces loosely, and I've stacked them according to color choice. So now I'm going to put this on the side just a moment. We talked about this. Please, if you have any questions, list them below or go to my Facebook page, Be Yourself Quilting, and ask me there, and I'll be glad to help you further. I've made a few bold color choices here. Because I wanted to have a more, I don't know, a better vibe. I just didn't want it to be a plain VW bug. So this here fabric, I'm going to fussy cut the hood. So when I do this fussy cutting, I have to remember a couple of things, and that's why you might want a light box or take it to the window. This is in the reverse, and it's going to be ironed to the wrong side of the fabric. So when I think on this, this is the top of the hood, this is the bottom. I want to consider what it's going to look like when it actually is part of the hood. So right here, this is some pretty little flowers. I might want that piece. So I would line this up, looking through because whatever I see here, I'm going to have the reverse of it on this side. So it's something to consider if you're fussy cutting. Kind of try to see what is actually going to be on that hood when you cut it, okay? That's just one example. You may not want a fussy cut. You may want your bug to be all blue or all green or all black or whatever color it was that you loved about a VW bug. So this is my fabric choice for pieces. Let's find this right here. We're going to turn it back to this side. So pieces 1 and 2, the hood and the door, are going to be some piece of this fussy cut. So what I did was I nipped me off a little corner piece. I glued it to a board. It can just be a piece of paper, it doesn't matter. I just have a ton of these, so I thought I'd just use it. I put which pattern pieces and what they are, side, door, and hood, okay? So I'll know. Now I'm starting me a color chart. And the reason it's great to do this is, 1, it keeps you organized. 2, if you're ever asked to repeat this pattern, repeat the product, you know what you use. So therefore, you can just reference your card. I keep my pattern color choices with my patterns when I store them. And if I change color choices, I still have something as a guide. Now this was in my stash. All this is either scraps or stash fabric. This, I know it's kind of out there, is going to be the rest of the bug, the fenders, the roof, the hood, okay? This fabric here, so I cut a little nick and I went on. This I'm going to use for the inside of the windows, the interior. Next, all the, like the, let's see, 8, 9, the chrome trim, the mirrors, different things like that will all be this silvery color here. Now, this here is going to be fussy cut. Somewhere in here, I'm going to find me a piece, like right here. Let me show you. These, I'm going to fussy cut that for my rims. Next, headlights. I had this fabric here. I don't know why I bought it. I think it was on sale. I don't even know what I thought I was going to do with it, but I can use these 2 pieces here, fussy cut, for my headlights. I think that'll look awesome. It'll look kind of shiny and all. So 23 and 24 are behind the blinkers. And I'm just going to use, this is a variegated fabric. I'm just going to use the lightest spot I can find in here. I like that it has a little color reflection, so I'll probably search for a piece that has a little yellow-orange reflection in it, because the blinkers obviously are going to be this down here. And then, after we do that, I'm just going to use regular black for my tires, just a basic black solid. My white walls, I'm going to make them white walls. Now, if you were going to use red tones, you could put the red walled tires on here, and that would look really good. But I'm going to use white walls. Next, I'm going to use this for the inner areas here that are like the undercarriage by the tires it's going to show. I'm going to use this color. And then the last piece of fabric I need is this running board, and I'm just going to use this piece of black here. Now that's my fabric choices. I took a little nip of every one. I just glued it down with a glue stick, a child's glue stick from Walmart, Amazon. They're not expensive. From here, we have now decided on our colors. We have all of our pieces drawn out. And I just wanted to show you. This is my scrap basket. And I dug through here to find some of the blacks, the grays, whatever. If there was something in here that I could use, I used it. So now that I have my pieces, my color choices, I'm going to now set this aside. I don't need this right now. So next, we're going to get each piece by itself. I'm going to iron it good and flat. Get this ironing surface out here. And I'm just going to do a few of them, but it'll give you an idea how to do it. So I'm going to take this first piece. This will be one of the harder pieces to use anyway. And I'm going to take my little piece here, and I'm going to see what might I want to be on that hood. Because this is the top of the hood. This is the dragonfly. That's too little. A butterfly might work. So that dragonfly is right over here, close to the end. So I'm going to put my fabric out on the reverse side. You do not want to iron to the right side of your fabric, okay? Okay, so now I have to think about it. This is the bottom of the hood. This is the top of the hood. So, do we want the dragonfly where it's flying up the hood? Do we want the dragonfly where it's flying? Nope, we don't like that. What about this one? Look at that one. He might be just the one. She, he, I don't know. I think we're going to do this one just to the edge there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press this onto this piece of fabric, just like this. Now, guys, press, don't iron. Guys, don't worry about grain of straight of grain and all that, because this is going to be well stabilized. So you can cut this fabric however you want to. The stabilizer will be your stabilization. Okay. So I think that butterfly is pretty cool right there. And that is the top. Let's see, where's the other tip of that butterfly? Right there. So maybe something like that. And we'll put this butterfly on the door. Now, I'm just going to continue choosing pieces. I'm going to do a rough cut just to get it out of here. Okay. Just to get it out. And yes, my fabric looks like this. And yes, it drives my husband crazy. But when you do art, sometimes your fabric has to look like this. Okay, so these two pieces are ready. I'm going to take them and I'm going to turn them upside down and stack them right there. Now I'm through with this. So I can just go ahead and fold it up and put it back in my stash. Let's go ahead and go with this one next. I don't think this one's really going to matter where we cut it, so we can be more conservative with our fabric choices. I try not to cut the selvage off if it has the name of the fabric. Obviously, this one does not, but I'm still going to cut from the other side. We are going to use the reverse side of the fabric. So this is going to be pieces 3 and 4. So I'm going to put this here. It doesn't really matter. You could put it like that. It would use less fabric. Maybe we'll do it like that. And then we got room to put this here. So we are just going to press. I usually count to about 10. The only thing is I find that with the Heat and Bond Light, as soon as it cools, you can go ahead and peel it and use it. Some of the other pieces are just not that way. They are definitely pieces that have to wait 3 or 4 hours sometimes before you can peel them smoothly. Not sure why, but that's just the way it is. Okay, so I have cut out all the pieces according to my chart, and I have numbered, I have laid them out here on this board in numerical order. So when I'm looking to put them on the project, I have it. Now, I'm gonna set this on the side. We're gonna come back and we are gonna put the bug in so that we can see it. I think you'll be able to see it on camera. Let me see if you can, yep, I think you should be able to see it. So now I have to determine what I'm gonna put together, okay? I'm gonna put together my fender wheels and my tires first. So we can start with this one. 33, 29, and 15, okay? The easiest way to remove the paper from the back is to just score it with a pen, and then it should peel. Now, what I have here is a piece of Teflon. It's just a piece of Teflon. You can get these from Amazon and many other places. The thing about it is if you determine that you want to use a piece of Teflon, sorry, I need to get that iron hot. You will want to get the white Teflon, if at all possible, because the darker brown one is great. It works fine, but you can't see through it. So when you go to start layering things, you cannot see your back piece, okay? And so that's why I would recommend the white. Now, if you don't want to purchase Teflon, you can use parchment paper. And parchment paper does come in white from the grocery store or from Amazon. And it can be used many times before it gets too wrinkly to use. I can't really remember, but Teflon sheets used to be very expensive, and they're just not anymore. So this I have used for many years, and I've got several pieces all rolled up. So what I'm going to do here is, I know piece number 33 goes here, okay? Let me move this out the way. I might have it upside down. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put piece 33 there, and I'm going to touch it with my iron just to make it stick, okay? That's it. I just want it to stick to the Teflon. Now, on top of this, I want to put my hubcap, okay? Just like that. Let me get my other sheet out so I can look at it as I'm doing this. Here we go. Okay, so I'm just going to put this one here as a guide on the side, and just make sure it goes towards the front, it goes closer to the car like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, this piece can be pulled up, but once I touch this piece on, it can't be pulled up. So just make sure you're happy with its placement. Does it have to be exact? It doesn't, because you know why? It's your art. Now I'm just going to pull this up. Next, I'm going to put piece number 34 down. And I'm going to touch it with my iron. I should have got my little iron, but, well, we're moving, so we're just going to keep using this one. And then we're going to put piece number 29 down. Okay. Now, does 29 go in front of? Yes, it does. So I feel like my piece of 29 is just a little fat on this top. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim it down. Okay. And there we go. I'm happy with that. Fender wheel should be in the back, then the tire, and then the white wall. Okay, so it's going to go like that. And that looks good. Now when you look at it, you can see the tire, the white wall, and the hubcap. I'm gonna hit that with the iron just to make it stick. Okay, that piece is done. So now we need pieces 35, 30, ouch. Oh, 30, that's correct, 30. 32 and 16. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna build 32 and 16 first. It won't come off my hand. Now, okay, so 16 is gonna go like this. Okay, so we're gonna put 32 down, and it should go like that. And then we're gonna lift that up, and 16 is gonna go right in the middle of that. I think quite centered on the whole thing. A little more towards the, a little bit further down. Okay, so I'm gonna tap those two together. Move this. Then we're gonna go with 35 in the background. I lost my pen. There she is. It's kind of like putting together a puzzle. You know, you just have to think about it. I guess if y'all would want a pattern to go with this, I could try to get the numbers rearranged where they make sense from 1 through. When I do my own, I don't really care about that because I'm thinking about how it goes in. Okay, so 32 is going to go like that. Sorry about the dogs in the background. I left them inside. Okay, let me put that one in place because it keeps moving on me when I go to do this. Now, I know that thing looks huge there, but some of this is going to get covered by the car. How far down? A little bit more towards that way. I'll just keep peeking in. And I think that'll be good. Because we're gonna have a line come across here because some of this is the bottom of the tire. Not all of it, but some of it is. Yeah, I think we're okay right there. So I'm gonna press that down. Okay. Now we're gonna do this piece over here. And that's 31 and 36. 31 will go like that. And 36 is going to go on top of it. Okay. So my next thought is I need to build this headlight, these two bumps here. We need to build those pieces, okay? So that's what we're going to do. So I need 18 and 21. And then 17 and 22. And that'll make our headlights, okay? I tell you too, if you got kind of chubby fingers like I have, sometimes it helps to use tweezers to get everything in place the way you want it. Okay, let me just move it in just a little bit. I I think that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and press them. Now they're not going to stay there because, you know, we got other, let's get rid of that stuff. Sorry. We'll be peeling these up. So now this is 23 and 26 and 24 and 25. So this is going to go here. And this is going to go here. And then we need 25 on this side. Let's kind of put it in place best we can. And like I said, guys, this is art, but it's art. Look at one of my other projects. It's a little more lifelike. Like the fish will be coming up soon. You can see him right here. And he'll be coming up soon as a project. And he's a lot more lifelike. Okay, just 1 second here. I just wanted to have some fun. Sometimes you just want to have fun with stuff. Okay, and then this one is right in the center. Okay, so let's get those and make them attached to one another. Okay. Now we're gonna leave these tires here, okay? I think they'll be fine there, but we are gonna have to peel up. We're going to let that cool just a second. So at this point, we're gonna need to go ahead and put piece number 9 in place because it's gonna go a little bit behind the car. Okay, so he can stay there. Now, our next piece will be piece number 4. Okay, so let's see if we can get these up now. I'm gonna put this one on this side because it's that one, and I'm gonna put this one on this side because it's that side. I'm gonna do the same thing with the headlights. This one, and then this one, okay? Now, that's just trash. Okay, we're gonna work on putting the car in place, okay? Because everything else sits on top of it. Okay, car, hood. Then I think we're gonna need piece number 1. Okay, and it's gonna sit here. I wonder if it would look better underneath there. Yes, I do think so. So let's put piece number 1 in place first. Then I'll put the hood in place. Have a little peek under here. So I'm going to take this piece here. First, let me just tap that top in place. That way that won't move, but if I need to move it, I can because it's not attached to anything. Teflon is awesome to use because if you need to make some adjustments, you can. Now, obviously, this fender is definitely going to be on top of all that. So I'm going to go ahead and touch that right there. Now we need to put this bumper piece in, piece number 10. And it's going to go like that. But it's going to go under that fender. It is not going to go on top of it. Okay. So the hood actually is going to touch right on that edge and go under here like this. Just right there. But before we attach the hood down, we are going to go ahead. See, what happens is this is the lift part, but we still have other pieces. So we're going to, I wonder if that should have been a separate piece. So this actually is going to sit like that right there, but there's a little bit of a gap. And then 5 and 6 go over here. So I'm thinking I need another layer on my hood that I did not cut out. This is my door. This is my back window. And this goes back here like this. Okay guys, so I'm gonna pause it right here. I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about. I did this hood, but I think I need to add this section here, and that'll give it more dimension. And what I'm gonna do with this section, I'm gonna make it a solid piece and it'll add more dimension. So I'm gonna stop, make that piece, and I'll be back. Okay guys, so I got it all laid out. I added that piece in, so that'll be piece number 38. I'm liking it. I got everything laid out just the way I want. So now I'm just going to press. I'm gonna lift and press. Now I feel like nothing will move, so now I'm just gonna take a few seconds and go all the way across the whole car. And the reason I haven't decided on other things, the other elements like flowers and stuff to go around the car for design purposes is, to tell you the truth, I want to see how the car looks before I want to expand on that. So I'll pull these pins out. I had put pins through my Teflon just to keep everything from shifting. Pull this out. And here we go. It's got to cool off just a second. Oops, before we can peel it. It gets pretty hot. Let's see, let's move that out the way. Okay. So now we should be able to just peel our bug off. Take your time in peeling it off. You don't want to stretch it all out of place, and you don't really want to leave any pieces behind. So like with this little mirror over here, or the tire. So peel slowly. You might have to adjust where you're peeling from. Try to keep it all together. Now my next step is to just come along, and I'm going to look at this piece here, and I'm going to get a erasable pen, piece of chalk, something, and I'm going to draw in some lines. Not worried about exactness, just some lines here, there, and yonder that will allow for me to, there we go, we got it now. All right, there she is. See, and it's completely able to be fused. Apparently, I didn't peel off the paper off the back of this one. Well, I don't know if it's going to come off now. Oh, well. So I've made a decision to go ahead and end the Beetle Bug part one right here, because it's getting a little long. It's about 40 minutes, and that's just the setup. And if I do it this way, then I can just reference the setup on this for future videos, and I won't have to do that first part, and we can just get right into the thread painting in the future. So I'm going to end it here. It won't be weeks between getting this finished. So this part one will be released, and then a couple of days, maybe not even a couple of days, maybe then the very next day, I'll release part two, where I do all the thread painting on the Beetle Bug itself. And then part three will be doing the flowers and applying it to the back of the jean jacket. It won't take weeks to get this done. I don't want it to draw into February. I want it to all stay in January. So anyway, I'll probably be seeing y'all quite a bit this month. I hope y'all are enjoying this. If you are, please like, share, subscribe, go to my Facebook, follow me there, and comment there. Ask me any questions you have about processes or anything like that. Leave it in the comments below. Leave it on the Facebook comments. I'll answer them at the end of the month. I will do answer to any questions y'all have. I just wanted to reach out and thank those of you who have bought the Block of the Month pattern from my Etsy store. Remember to always be yourself, and I will see you back here very, very shortly. Have a good evening.